Here's a curveball for you guys. There's a movie that I've seen recently, and it actually came out within the last 5 years. Okay, so the movie's called Saltburn, released in 2023, directed by Emerald Fennell, and starring Jake Jacobs, Rosamund Pike, aka Gone Girl, Richard E. Grant, who I'm pretty sure a lot of us 90s kids might know as the Spice Girls' tour manager. Yo big fat I think I may have just broken up the Spice Girls. This is a very, very British film. Rosamund Pike plays this chick named Elspeth. That's some British ass. Also starring Barry Coogan. I don't know. He looks like one of those people that's like young and old at the same time. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying he has a very unique face. In fact, I'm like pretty sure he might be Happa. That's just my theory. Anyway, so this movie's really stupid. I thought it was gonna be good, but then it wasn't. It just seemed like a lot of like movie for nothing in a sense. I'll try to explain, but basically, so Barry Coogan right here, he's this really weird withdrawn kid that goes to this like painfully British school. It like dead ass looks like Hogwarts. And he befriends this really weird dude that's like aggressively smart. Like he got mad at him because he wouldn't ask him to like ask him to do something. Ask me to do something. Bruh, calm down. So he's like in love with Nate Jacobs because even because like even in like other countries, everybody just swoons over Mr. Booty Chin. And it's like 2006 in the movie. So he's like emo light. He got like a shaggy haircut and an eyebrow ring. You know, he looked good. Oliver is played by Barry Coogan. And Oliver obviously ends up falling in love with Nate Jacobs. And I was mad because I thought that the premise of this movie was gonna be like a gay love story. And I was like, yes, I love queer cinema. Let's do it. I wanna see some boys kissing on each other. But it kind of was that, but not really. This movie's so stupid. Like, okay, so at first I thought it was about this weird looking ass kid who befriends a hot rich kid and then falls in love with him or whatever. And you know, class struggles and yada yada yada. But it actually turns out that we don't want to root for Barry Coogan. Oliver is crazy. Oliver convinces Nate Jacobs that he's actually like poor, even though he's not. He's just basically faking because he definitely wants to suck Nate Jacobs' dick, but he also wants to like own his house. So he's like in love with him, but not really. It's really strange. I don't get it. But you know, him and his family take pity on him because, you know, he made up this lie that his mom is a drunk and his daddy ain't around or whatever. He went to go get a gallon of milk, whatever the unit of measure is over in London. But you know, he concocts this whole like sad story so that these rich people take pity on him, and they do. They let him stay at this big ass castle, just big for no reason. There's like, you know, centuries old paintings and shit in there. They're just a bunch of rich people. They're assholes. And apparently Nate Jacobs does this a lot. He'll like adopt a poor kid because poor people usually have way more personality than rich people do. You know, have fun with him, playing his a little bit, throw him right back out to the streets. There's this biracial kid named Farley who also lives at Saltburn. Is it just me or does he look like the nerdy kid from Sydney White, Sneezy? He looked like a biracial version of Sneezy from Sydney White. Oliver and Farley have like this weird sexual tension going on. Farley is like, I guess, Nate Jacobs' bottom bitch because his mom used to like mess with the family or whatever before she defected to America. Because the family is stupid, they go along with Oliver saying that Farley also can't be trusted. And this is right after he commits sexual terrorism on Farley too. Are you going to be a good boy and behave? That scene was weird, but I low-key think that Farley was into it. Because he definitely commented on Barry Coogan's inches earlier. It's still messed up, I'm just saying. So I guess if, you know, he wasn't gonna be able to kill everybody into submission, he was gonna fuck everybody into submission. But for whatever reason, Oliver becomes a fixture at Saltburn. I don't know if he's like a magician or something, but he just like gets into everybody's head really easily. Just say something and they be like, oh yes, I think you're right. Oh yes, absolutely. Y'all don't know this kid from a can of paint. And he's kind of creepy. I think that the main reason why this movie was such a big deal is because of like the random freaky scenes that were scattered about. Obviously the bathtub scene. It gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, you so fine I drink your bathwater. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I was definitely going, ooh, when I saw it, like, oh, you nasty. Lapping up this man's soaked water. But then he started like licking the inside of the tub and I was like, okay, that's the nasty part here. The watery cum. I'm concerned about the tetanus shot that you're gonna have to get soon. You was making out with rust, my guy. Like centuries old rust, my dude. And then he goes on Nate Jacobs' sister while she's on her period. It's fucking disgusting. Lucky for you, I'm a vampire. Do y'all think that's what Edward and Bella do, like as foreplay? When she was still human. Bella, I need you to bleed into my mouth. Okay, Edward. My flow's not that heavy yet, though. Something's wrong with me. So throughout the movie, he successfully gets into everybody's head. Nate Jacobs finds out that Barry Coogan is a fake. And because of this, Oliver kills him. Like, he found out who he was and he was like, nope, you gotta go. So then he goes and he kills his sister. The dad gives him money to get the fuck out. So then, like, years later, he runs back into Gone Girl. She's desperate. She's so lonely. She's like, oh, please, you have to come back to Saltburn. You have to come back to Saltburn. So he does. And then he fucking kills her, too. Are we supposed to root for this little weird-faced dude? Because he killed the whole family for their castle. They all just willingly go along with it. Oh, you're such a good friend. You're such a good friend. No, he's not. Y'all don't know him from a can of paint. The sister was right. And I guess, like, ooh, you know, he won in the end. And Barry Coogan and his inches dancing around the castle butt-ass naked, putting these damn stones on the thing. I'm like, what? This movie's stupid. What was the point? There was no point to this movie. It was just, let's throw in some really weird, creepy scenes and then see what happens. Like, no. I almost was gonna leave this out. Barry Coogan f***s Nate Jacobs' grave. He literally strips butt-ass naked in the rain and starts f***ing the grave. He's having sex with a pile of dirt. He is going to have a urinary tract infection. He is in the rain crying like Usher while his dick and balls are buried 6 feet deep. Brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, he has a dirty dick.